In the distant future, the world is facing a big problem. People have been using up Earth's resources a lot, and every year, a new sickness is spreading around, causing billions of deaths. Life has become really scary because anyone can catch this dangerous virus and die. But then, something amazing happens. In the middle of all this chaos, a scientist named Pilot shows up like a gift to humanity. He figures out a way to change our genes so that we can live forever. This discovery gives everyone hope for a happy life without the constant fear of dying. Quickly, Pilot makes his idea work, and soon, everyone becomes immortal. The human race transforms into beings that will live forever. Jump ahead 2 centuries, and things are quite different in the future. Now, only a special group of folks living in a big domed city can become immortal through a process called the freeze. Running the whole show is Pilot, who oversees the city and has a bunch of workers helping him keep things in order. Young folks are brought into the domed area, where Pilot himself checks them out. He figures out the exact time in their life when they're at their absolute best, and that's when they get to go through the freeze process. While most folks hit this sweet spot around 25, it's not the same for everyone. So, the domed city becomes this lively place filled with immortals and others eager to become immortal down the road. And in the midst of all this, we meet Logos, the main character of our story. He's entering the city, along with a bunch of other folks, all thrilled about the big transformation awaiting them. Different from the rest, Logos carries a lot of questions in his heart. He's not so sure that living forever is what people really need. To him, death is like the glue that holds life together. Without it, life might just be going through the motions, not really living. Despite these thoughts, Logos heads into the city, hoping to uncover some answers. On his second day there, a woman named Suker notices Logos and senses his doubts about immortality. She reaches out and invites him to join a group of people who share his feelings. Suker hands him a box, saying it'll take him to the group without anyone keeping tabs on him. Meanwhile, Pilot and his right-hand guy, Armoros, are watching the surveillance footage. They spot the box and get suspicious. Pilot tells Armoros to figure out what's going on with that mysterious box. In another part of the city, Guide Ake shares insights with a group of new folks about the freezing process. One of the newcomers asks about someone who used to work closely with Pilot. Ake unfolds a tale of a clever man, once Pilot's equal, until he spoke out against the immortality system. His memory got wiped clean, and now, nobody knows where he is. Rumors suggest he invented a program to end the whole immortality thing before vanishing. Later, Armoros finds Ake and takes her to a virtual meeting with Pilot. Pilot has a task for Ake, to keep an eye on Logos and find out what he's up to. As Ake aims to move up from guide to guardian, this becomes a perfect way to test her skills in a more challenging role. In the next scene, Ake stumbles upon Logos and Suker together and decides to eavesdrop on their conversation. However, the clever Suker senses they are being watched and skillfully talks in circles. She casually invites Logos to the church later, sounding to Ake like a normal friendly chat. Later, Ake reports this to Pilot, but he refuses to let the matter go. He urges Ake to continue spying on Logos and provide detailed reports on all his activities. To maintain proximity, Ake approaches Logos the next time she finds him alone. She comments on the book he's reading and steers the conversation towards the topic of immortality. Curious, Logos asks Ake if she genuinely believes in the things she imparts to her students as their guide. This question leaves Ake pondering, realizing that she lacks a clear answer. The next day, Ake decides to enlist a pair of twin sisters to keep an eye on Logos when she's not around. Eager for a chance at promotion, the twins swiftly accept the task. Simultaneously, Logos heads to the church to meet Suker. After ensuring no one is tailing him, he gains entry. A man named Mason warmly welcomes him and introduces him to a programmer and scientist named Madoran. To Logos' surprise, everyone in the group shares his skepticism towards the immortality system and discontent with Pilot's methods. The group discloses a startling revelation. Individuals are administered a daily dose of a drug called maintenance, purportedly to prepare for the freezing process. However, the group has uncovered that the drug renders them submissive, suppressing human emotions and instincts. They become unable to love or hate, essentially turning them into compliant individuals incapable of rebelling against what they dislike. It's as if they are being conditioned to become Pilot's obedient subjects. Everyone who takes the maintenance drug becomes the same, but somehow Logos remains unaffected, allowing him to think beyond just the perks of immortality. Scientist Madoran discovers a diary from Pilot's former partner and is working to create a virus that could overturn the immortality system. The group's main goal is to help people recognize the capacity to feel happiness and sorrow, encouraging protests against the system to end Pilot's rule. In a different scene, Pilot spends time with his curious teenage daughter, Amanda. She starts asking about his ex-partner, revealing the name Helios. Amanda, much like Logos and the group, has a lot of questions about the system her father oversees, questions that normal citizens wouldn't usually dare to ask. Pilot is beginning to realize it as well. He finds himself in a desert, dressed in a hazmat suit, struggling to breathe, and eventually passing out. The haunting images leave him unsettled each time. Ake, driven by her determination for promotion, is ready to go to any lengths to fulfill Pilot's task. On this particular day, she approaches Logos once more, pretending to be friendly. However, in the midst of their conversation, she abruptly asks him if he takes the maintenance drugs designed for the freezing process. Logos, caught off guard by the question, hesitates but decides to fib, answering affirmatively. After a while, Logos becomes part of a group planning to disrupt the administration of maintenance drugs by altering the code. The plan involves accessing the underground tunnels beneath the Capitol building, a move designed to reveal to people what it's like to experience genuine human emotions. However, gaining entry to these tunnels requires access through Ake's card, as she works in the Capitol building. Logos approaches Ake, questioning her about whether she takes the maintenance drug. Before she can answer, the twins suddenly interrupt their conversation. In another scene, Armoros queries Ake about Logos' visit, but she deceives him, claiming it was just a casual greeting. Logos' question lingers in Ake's thoughts throughout the day, prompting her to eventually seek him out to address the inquiry. In an unexpected turn, Logos places his trust in Ake, bringing her into the fold of the group. He discloses every detail of their plan and their ultimate goal to her, unaware that she has been sent to spy on them. Ake, shocked by the revelation, manages to compose herself, but the true gravity of the situation eludes her comprehension due to the daily consumption of the maintenance drug. The group astounds Ake further by requesting her assistance in their plan. Given time to ponder, she seizes the opportunity to confide in Armoros, revealing all that she has discovered. Surprisingly, Armoros remains composed upon learning about the rebel group aiming to overthrow his boss's rule. Rather than punishing her, he instructs Ake to return to the group and agree to help them. Despite her fears of potential repercussions, Ake places her trust in Armoros, believing he will navigate any precarious situations that may arise. Meanwhile, Pilot engages in a conversation with his daughter Amanda. She probes him about the painful memories of losing her mother. Though frustrated with her repeated questioning, Pilot admits it was a devastating experience. He shares a poignant moment when Amanda was on the brink of death, revealing that their work on the genetic coding method stemmed from the fear of losing her. Pilot attributes a rift in his friendship with Helios to jealousy over credit for their achievements. As Pilot recounts the story, Amanda astutely observes that the details seem to change every time he tells it. Meanwhile, Ake approaches the rebel group, expressing her willingness to help. Together, they craft an intricate plan, assigning specific tasks to each member. When they attempt to infiltrate the building and access the tunnel, an unexpected alarm sounds. Unbeknownst to the group, this alarm is part of Ake and Armoros' scheme to isolate Logos from the others and apprehend him. The plan unfolds successfully, leading to Logos being captured and taken to the medical room. Doctors conduct a memory wipe, erasing all recollection of his past. Ake, guilt-ridden for her role in Logos' fate, protests upon learning that his memory has been wiped. However, Pilot sternly warns her to follow orders and avoid triggering any potential memories in Logos. Distressed by her actions, Ake grapples with guilt for several hours until the twins deliver unexpected news. They spotted Logos. Overjoyed, Ake rushes to meet him, but he fails to recognize her. Strangely, Logos has been administered a higher dosage of the maintenance drug, rendering him seemingly emotionless and impervious to pain or happiness. In Ake's eyes, he appears more like a living dead than an immortal. The revelation unfolds that Ake, in a quiet act of rebellion, has refrained from taking the maintenance drug since the day she discovered Pilot's true intentions. Realizing the magnitude of her mistake, Ake rushes to meet the rest of the group. Tearfully, she apologizes and pleads for forgiveness, but the group, shaken by the betrayal, struggles to trust her again. Ake reveals the plight of Logos, transformed into a memoryless automaton, emphasizing that she has truly grasped the gravity of her actions. After numerous promises and assurances, the group reluctantly accepts her back into their ranks. In the subsequent scene, they successfully abduct Logos from the mental facility where he was confined. Working to restore his memories, Pilot discovers the disappearance and identifies Ake's involvement, blaming Armoros for not being vigilant with his team. Simultaneously, after hours of conversation with Ake, Logos begins to catch glimpses of his past. While there's still much to recollect, he understands the group's mission and eagerly agrees to rejoin their cause. Next up, the group is figuring out how to carry on with their plan to hack and alter the maintenance system. Since Ake no longer has access to the Capitol, she seeks help from the twins. Luckily, their collaboration proves successful, granting them entry into the underground facility. They work tirelessly and manage to change and override the program. In a stroke of fortune, the group also stumbles upon diffusers, devices that can switch people from being immortal to mortal. With their mission accomplished, the entire group makes a daring escape from the city. Seeking refuge amidst the mountains, they set up tents, creating a makeshift camp to regroup. Out of nowhere, Logos has a moment of realization and decides to use the diffuser on himself, hoping to experience emotions. He faints shortly afterward, causing concern among everyone. The group's doctor steps in, provides assistance, and after a few hours, Logos regains consciousness. Ake, genuinely worried, finally admits that she has developed feelings for him. In a heartfelt moment, Logos reciprocates the sentiment. In the next scene, the group discovers that Pilot is launching a new program today, aiming to tighten his control over humans. He plans to deliver a live message to his people, but the group successfully hacks into the system. Instead of Pilot, Logos takes the stage on the screen, revealing the truth about Pilot's unethical control over everyone. He urges people to think freely and promises clarity if they do so. The impassioned speech stirs the crowd. Armoros advises Pilot to halt the group, but Pilot remains confident, believing his system is impenetrable, and the public is powerless. Suddenly, Ake emerges with the diffuser, using it to turn herself into Immortal. As the tension builds, Amanda enters with a surprising revelation. She discloses that before his demise, Helios stored his cerebral data, including emotions, thoughts, and ideologies, in a hard drive, which has now been downloaded into her brain. In essence, she is Helios reborn. In the final scene, Ake narrates that Amanda holds the key to restoring humanity to its natural state. She expresses hope that the group will soon be contacted by Amanda. And with this movie comes to an end. Thanks for tuning in, guys.